Gents, I did a recent video on this channel about a black woman who traveled to Colombia, and she had a message for other sisters about black men, that they were coming to Colombia in large numbers and that sisters need to beware. They're losing. What up, gents? Welcome to TSG Uncut. I am your host, Sean C. In today's episode, I have an update to that video that we're going to look at today. Also, make sure you stick around to the very end because I'm going to link the very first video and I'm going to link a video of my time in Colombia. Do me a favor, hit that like button. And with that being said, let's get started.
If you watched my last video, I was speaking to the amount of black men that are currently in Cartagena. So just to be clear, what made this very interesting to me, and this is not my first time in Cartagena. However, my first time in Cartagena was during the pandemic. And so it just wasn't nearly as busy. So this was my first time experiencing Colombia, I think in a more realistic form of just what, the average flight consists of. And it was a extremely large amount of black men. And for reference, I'm a full-time travel content creator, which means I am traveling all around the world, often on flights all the time. And I can honestly say that it is very rare for me to see a large number of black men on a flight that I'm on. It is very, 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 very rare.
First off, I want to give a shout out to the gents that are taking the time to get their money right, get on their purpose and their grind to be able to get out of the country. A lot of you guys who have traveled out of the country and you're not just trying to be grimy and dirty out there, you are having the time of your life. And something that I experienced, and maybe some of you guys did, let me know down in the comments below. But if you've traveled out of the country and you've seen how nice and feminine and friendly that the women are in these other countries, when you come back, your perspective can't do anything but change. But let's continue.
So to arrive and have a flight full of men, but also to see other flights full of men, and the customs line was crazy long. So when I say that there were black men everywhere, I literally mean there were black men everywhere. But what was the most jarring to me is the realization that I think there's a lot of discourse on the internet, and there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's just dusties, it's just broke men, it's just men that other women wouldn't date. I saw lots of very attractive men. I saw lots of men who looked like they had means. They looked like they had their stuff together. They were dressed well. They had good luggage. Like these were not men that you're just like, oh, girl, nobody wants them.
Now, if you watch the first video on this, you might remember this young lady who had this to say about Passport Brothers. Check it out.
I just want to understand what makes you spend $135 on an adult passport to go literally get the same type of hoo-ha that you can literally get from across the street. And it's just so sad because a lot of people like you, we're not afraid to get rough with you guys.
For me, the video really just came from the actual shock of, oh, y'all really be outside with it. Y'all are really coming to Colombia, and this is the type of time that you're on. And I say that because I didn't just see men like, okay, cool, like you're going to Colombia with your homeboys. What was the most shocking to me as I was waiting for my Uber, there were women in club dresses picking up men, and the time was very much like, oh, you've been here before, but it's your homeboy's first time, and she brought somebody for him.
So last year, it was my very first time going to Colombia. It was my big bro's birthday, and he was like, yo, it's my birthday. What you doing? I need you on this flight right now. And you know what? I had just gotten back from another place, and I was like, I don't know. And he was like, you ain't got no choice in the matter. This is my birthday, and I want my brother to be there with me. And so guess what? I got on a flight to Colombia, and I'm gonna tell you that it was probably one of the most eye-opening experiences that I've ever had.
I see that there's a lot of commentary about what black women look like, or people's shapes and sizes. And yes, like some of the Colombian women that I've seen are beautiful, and some of them are mid, and some of them are not. And I think women all over the world look different ways and have different body types. And so it's super fascinating to me, the energy that is just rooted in, oh, well, the reason why black men are going to Colombia is because black women are not desirable. That's wild and egregious. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I want to address this point that she just made. It's not that black women aren't desirable. It's not that black women aren't the most beautiful women in the world. It's that a lot of men in America just don't want to deal with the attitudes. They don't want to deal with the problems that comes with dealing with the modern American woman. It ain't got to be just black women. This this attitude is pervasive throughout all modernized Western countries. So men are now choosing to get their passports and they're looking to leave. They're looking to get away from the matrix. For well-traveled men, or for men who have travel to other places, it's not just about the women, it's also about the peace of mind that you get when you go to these other places. Men don't want to have to pick through and try to find one that isn't going to use him for a meal ticket, who are just looking to get the bag and not looking for the qualities of a good man. But let's continue.
But also too, I will say, as a woman who's been in Colombia, I also feel like the energy of men here is just predatory. I was at dinner last night and a table full of men came up to myself and the two girls that I was having dinner with, and the energy was very much like, what's up with it? Come through. We got a boat tomorrow. And these weren't black men. These were men from Mexico, men from North Carolina who were white men, and men from other parts of South America. And the energy was very much just like, we're here for a good time, not a long time. And I feel like, you know, that is the energy of men traveling to Colombia.
Now, the young lady that I played in the clip earlier, she was bashing passport bros, and she was talking about that they're going over there for predatory reasons. Men want to enjoy the company of good women or nice women. And particularly, even if they look good, they want the presence of a good looking woman. But this thought that all men that go over there, particularly the bashing of black men that go there, that they're going over there for just predatory reasons, is a farce. It's cap. And I'm glad that she brought this up, because a lot of men that have had the opportunity to travel, particularly black men, know that there is so much more to going over that country than there's to be picking up women.
And what's even more interesting is that all the black men that I saw at the airport, I ain't seen none of them in the streets. And I would only assume that's because they laying down somewhere.
So gents, I just wanted to give you guys an update to the last video that I put out, because maybe the audio wasn't so good, but you can still hear clearly what she has to say about the black men that she saw over in Colombia. I did this video because I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys hope to continue to work on yourself, your purpose, so that you can live your best life. Again, don't forget to check out the 2 videos at the end of this one. I'll join you in the comments because I want to hear what you guys have to say on this topic. Until next time, live your best life.